Yeah. I guess we'll do mechanics, which I've looked at literally one mechanic. Which it looks like there is only one new mechanic. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
And I've paid attention to a couple of the cards in the thread that Chifuji made, but because Chifuji is our official like thread maker for
Mm-hmm.
Magic sets, because there are so many Magic products that I don't keep track anymore. So he's like, "Hey, here's a thread for this new set," and I'm like, "Oh, nice, thank you." And that's where everybody goes to see new cards and whatnot. That way, because if we don't make a separate thread, then the MTG channel becomes just previews, and anybody that wants to talk about anything that isn't previews gets completely drowned out.
Oh, uh-huh.
So just make a new thread, and boom, there you go. Is it weird that today is pre-release day for me? No, you time traveling weirdo. Yeah, I said it. I don't trust you for some reason, but I can't put my finger on it. Anyway, all right, that's a minute and a half of recording, so we should be good. You guys good?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Ow, jam. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mana Pool. This is episode 664, as far as I know, of the Mana Pool. And, yeah, it's very strange because we are recording this on November 10th, 2022. And November 10th is notable for a few reasons. One, it's my old man's birthday. He's, I'm pretty sure, 78 this year. I'm pretty
Wow.
sure. Because I think in my Facebook memories 9 years ago, I mentioned that it was his 69th birthday. I think.
Nice.
I don't even know. But it's also, it turns out, Neil Gaiman's birthday. I didn't know that. He is I think 62, it said. And most notably for, you know, the purposes of this, it's the show's birthday.
Yay.
We are 15 today.
Gosh.
Which I mentioned that to Amanda earlier, and Amanda's like, that's older than my kid. I was like, yeah, and I thought about it. I'm like, wow, it's older than like all the kids I know. It's older than Dirk's kids. It's older than Brian's kid. It's older than Amanda's kid. Yeah, so 9 years ago was his 69th birthday, which means, yeah, he's 78 today. Wow. So, yeah, it's a hell of a day. We're not doing anything special for a 15th anniversary because once you get this many, whatever. I guess if we hit 20, we'll do something, but
Yeah, maybe 20 or 30.
But definitely older than Mike's kid. Yeah. Mike's kid is currently in the negative age, so. But yeah, so hi. It's our 15th anniversary and I'm Chewy, the lead dork. We are sadly without Brian because he had something we can't remember now. He
Some
told
kind of
us,
vacation, some kind of family vacation, but we don't remember where
yeah,
or
I
what.
think they were going to visit family.
Hmm.
I think he said they were leaving today. Hang on. I'm going
Maybe
to go
first thing
look.
tomorrow, so he needed tonight to pack
No, leaving
stuff.
Thursday after work. So yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
So there you go. That's why he's not here, because they're driving. But the other two are here. So who are you people?
Um, I'm Mike. I'm the rules guy and game lore guy, and I'll be seeing a lot of this stuff for the first time. I haven't had as much time to keep up with things going on, and I kind of I thought it was still going to be like another while, because wasn't the last pre-release just like 2 months ago?
Does the unset count?
Like,
I have no.
I'm pretty sure that when I went to the Dominaria United pre-release, that it was in September.
Maybe.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
I very much remember a picture that we looked at, and it had, we're used to like 3 sets showing up in a year, and then this year it feels like there's like 12 or 12 products that are showing up this year. It's more than we are very much used to.
Chat says that the Damu was September. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Gosh.
And we had the unset, which was what, last month?
I don't know. We didn't even talk about it on
Yes,
this
no.
show. So.
No.
Also,
Well,
Mike just resubbed for 32 months, and Chifuji just resubbed for, hang on, I scrolled too far, 37 months in a row? Actually, it doesn't say in a row, so probably not. 37? That's my favorite number. So, yeah, we're going to talk about the Brothers War, because we haven't yet, and the pre-release is it's this weekend, right? I think
Yeah,
so. Well, yeah, because Infinius said his was today, and he's just a day in the future. So, yeah. Yeah. So, I guess we should finally get into it. Yay, we'll start with the mechanics, because that's what we do. So, there's the one new mechanic here called Prototype, which is a song by Outcast. It's a Lerv song. But Prototype is an ability that's on some artifact creatures, and it's actually really cool because more options, more better. Ow. I hit my desk like with just the wrong part of my finger. That hurt. So Prototype. So the example here is the Phyrexian Flesh Gorger, which just sounds very sexy. And it's a 7 mana 7/5 Phyrexian Worm artifact creature who's mythic, with Menace, Lifelink, and Ward of pay life equal to Phyrexian Flesh Gorger's power. Wow, that is a hell of a ward.
Yeah.
So it's a 7 mana 7/5 with all those abilities. Or with Prototype. Prototype says you may cast the spell with different mana cost, color, and size. It keeps its abilities and types. So instead of being a colorless 7 mana 7/5, you could instead choose to cast it as a black 3/3 Phyrexian Worm for 1 black. It's still an artifact, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So a black artifact creature, Phyrexian Worm. A 3/3 for 3. With Menace, Lifelink, and Ward of pay life equal to its power. So, yeah.
Supposed to be like the flip side of the card?
No, you're just... It's just a different...
extended art, never mind.
What? Oh, yeah,
about
that's...
2 images side by side.
Yeah, that's the same card twice. But, so yeah, if you draw this early in the game, you can get a 3/3 for 3 out there with sick abilities. Or if you have it late game, or if you can reanimate it or something, then you've got a 7 mana 7/5 with sick abilities and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I have seen a few more of these because I remember getting the impression from the ones that I've read, looking at the normal cost and stats, it's like, wow, that is big and unwieldy, but if you can pull it off, that's amazing. But then the prototype cost is like, wow, that is actually very good.
Yeah, like Ward of 3 Life is just gross.
Yeah.
So
And
ward
three,
means that nothing can touch it, right?
sort of. It's an extra cost that you have to pay, that your opponents have to pay
Yeah.
to target it with a spell or ability.
Okay.
Ward is still very new. I don't have it internalized yet. I think it's spell or ability.
I think so, yeah.
Hmm.
And usually it's like, for 1 and a blue or something, but this is pay life, which is just buh. So, yeah. Prototype just gives you a different version of the same card to play that's, I think most if not all of them are smaller and cheaper, I think.
They've got to be. Otherwise, these wouldn't make. Otherwise, the concept wouldn't make as much sense. I think they're all smaller and cheaper.
Yeah. Alchemist said this is a new George for my George tribal deck. That's really funny, actually. Which way did he go, George? Which way did he go?
According to the prototype, that means that instead of playing, from what it says, you can play the spell with different mana costs, color, and uses. You don't have to do 1 black for the worm, right?
What? No, the 1
No,
black is your
this
other.
This is the different mana cost that it's talking about.
Oh, okay.
It does know you can't just make something else up.
Well, and that's what I was wondering. That's why I was a little confused. Was like, it's spell with different. Okay. Because
Yeah,
that
in
was
other
the thing
words-
I was confused by with this.
Yeah, when you prototype, it replaces the cost and the power and toughness with what it says in the prototype box.
Gotcha.
Everything else stays the same. Like, it'll add the color black to it because it's got a black color identity now, but
Yeah. So it's a 3/3, but it still has that ward ability, and it still has menace, and it still has lifelink.
yeah. So evasion gets you some life back, has a gross cost if they want to target it. Yeah, like I'll cast this at 3 all day, every day, and be happy. I mean, I won't, because I'm probably never going to own any of these. But if I did...
I'd be satisfied with just a 3/3 with menace for 3 mana. All that other stuff is great.
Yeah, all that other stuff is from the mythicness, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's prototype. It's just a smaller, cheaper version of something big and scary. Yeah, chat just brings up people playing with physical cards are going to need good reminders of how something was cast. Yeah, that is yet another example of they're clearly just making things for digital, and paper can figure it out. Because especially in like a commander game, you're going to be like, was that the prototype one or was that the big one? No, you killed the big one. Did I kill the big one? I thought I killed the prototype one. Why would you kill the prototype one when the big one is still on the board? Oh, yeah.
Well, they might give some. That makes me think of the Dominaria United pre-release. There was some things in my pre-release package that were basically just little punch-out counters and whatever, but they didn't have anything on them to make them a specific type of counter. They just had, themed symbols on them. There wasn't one that said flying. There wasn't one that said +1/+1. So if they have punch-outs like that here, you can use those for memory aids.
Chat says you get little gear tokens in packs that you just cover the bottom toughness box. Oh,
okay, that's cool.
That does help. Okay, so yeah, that's prototype. Not once you get past the initial hump of wait, what? It makes perfect sense. It's nice and grokkable. I like it. Yeah. So next up we have Power Stones. And these are another of those tokens like clue and food and treasure. Is that it? I think that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
Is
on
there
the screen. Idiot.
is there more than one card right now that could make these, or was it just like one version of Karn? Was there something else?
Before this set comes out?
Yeah.
You're asking me? I don't know. Also, blood.
I think it's technically I think it's technically returning, but it was just on one card.
Yeah. Chat
As a
says it
special
was
thing.
just Karn. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Power. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot about that. I had no idea what in the hell you were actually asking me.
Oh.
So yeah, power. Excuse me.
You all right?
Tell you what, I'm gonna mute and cough. One of y'all tell them what Power Stones do. I'm gonna die.
Okay. Like Chewy said, they're little new thematic token things like treasure or food or clues or whatever. These their defined ability is that they can tap to make one colorless mana that can't be spent to cast a non-artifact spell. So you can cast artifact spells with it, creature or non-creature. There's got to be artifact spells. There's no restriction on whether or not you can use it to activate abilities, so that's good. You just can't cast non-artifact spells with the mana from it. That's all. Um, they're made as a side effect on spells. The example here, splitting the power stone. It's a little bonus you get from well, no, never mind. It's part of the main effect. I'm thinking of something else. So this right here, splitting the power stone in the example, it's a sorcery for 2 and a blue. As additional cost to cast it, you sacrifice an artifact, and then you get 2 tapped power stone tokens. And then if the sacrificed artifact was legendary, you also draw a card. But you'll also see plenty of things in the set that says when the center of the battlefield, get a tapped power stone. A spell that says do such and such, get a tapped power stone. Things like that. The stuff that you're used to seeing where the set has, this is the giant growth variant with one of the set themes tacked onto it. This is the,
Like a burn spell.
Threaten variant.
Oh yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or the burn spell. Yeah.
Yeah. So
These are better treasures.
not quite
away.
better.
Well, they don't go. They are reusable, and that's big. You just you're just restricted in how you can use them, and you only get colorless mana. But being reusable is very, very big. And of course, being artifacts in this set is also very, very big because there's a bunch of other things that are going to interact with them and will like having them on the battlefield.
Yeah. And what?
I was just going to say, thankfully, the effects that I've seen so far put tapped Power Stone tokens onto the battlefield, which I'm glad to see, because otherwise you could get a cascade of, oh, do this and make some mana, and do it again and make some more mana, and keep.
The ornithopter thing from long ago.
And I was about to bring up how everything I've seen that makes Power Stones makes tapped Power Stones, and then chat pointed out that Power Stones don't inherently enter the battlefield tapped, but all of the effects that I've seen anyway that create them specify tapped. So that's
gives them the option.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea, I guess. You could tweak the power on something pretty easily by just making it make a Power Stone that isn't tapped.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But yeah, remember, it doesn't say, which is the thing that I think Brian didn't realize back when we read Karn, but they don't say use this mana only to cast an artifact spell. It doesn't say that. It says you can't spend it on a non-artifact spell. which I know Mike covered that earlier, but it's a very important distinction that it might not say
Yes.
what your brain thinks it says. Oh, and Razorback pointed out you can copy Power Stones and the copy would be untapped. Ooh.
Oh, yes.
Ooh. Oh, that's nasty. So yeah, there you go. And they're all over the set. They're all over the set.
All over the place.
All right, and we got Unearth is back. Unearth is very old. What is Unearth from? Was it Grixis?
I love Unearth.
One of the
Yeah,
rapid
that was
ones.
that was the original. That was the Grixis mechanic from Shards of Alara block.
Man. All right, you love Unearth. What's Unearth do?
Unearth is awesome. It's basically flashback for creatures. Um, so you have a creature, it dies, or it gets into your graveyard some other way. If it has an unearth, you can pay the unearth cost to return it from the graveyard to the battlefield. It gets haste, and then it gets exiled at the beginning of the next end step, or if it would leave the battlefield otherwise. And you can activate unearth only at sorcery time, so it doesn't get weird. But yeah, it's another way to reuse a creature, or just to use a creature that got dumped into your graveyard some other way, and it can lead to some pretty fun experiences. The example here, Ashnod's Harvester, is actually an artifact creature. It just costs 2 for a 3/1 construct, and it's uncommon. Whenever Ashnod's Harvester attacks, exile target card from a graveyard, and then it has an unearth cost of 1 and a black. So artifact creature, no color requirement in its normal casting cost, but the unearth cost does have a color requirement. And you'll also see this on a bunch of other artifacts in this set. And I really like how it's being used here to to play into the story theme of all the excavation work that was being done like early on in the story between the two brothers, and then just the recycling and reuse work during the war, and also just also tying into just the endless recycling that happens on Phyrexia, who, the Phyrexians finally got to Mishra, spoiler alert. But yeah, it's a fun mechanic. It was one of the things that, continued to encourage me to just love playing out of the graveyard.
It's true. Yeah, the way Unearth is worded, by the way, it makes it really hard to abuse it. Like, because it says exile it at the beginning of the next end step, or if it would leave the battlefield. So you can't sacrifice a creature you unearthed because it'll get exiled.
I mean, you can, you just won't be able to use it again.
Sorry, you can't sacrifice it to get it back into the graveyard because it'll get exiled. You can't bounce it to your hand because it'll get exiled. But chat points out you can blink it, because if you blink something with an exile blink, which is what blink means anymore these days, you can blink it and it'll exile instead of exiling, which is the same thing, and then it'll come back when it's supposed to. So and then it'll be a brand new creature, so it won't go anywhere. It'll just stay there.
That's right.
So yeah. All right then. That's just something important to remember about Unearth, because that was what tripped a bunch of people up when it came out the first time. And yes, we're going to talk about back then because we're old. The show is 15, for God's sake. Hang on. When did, what is the name of that set? Shards of Alara came out in 2008. So the show had been going for almost a year when Shards of Alara came out. Buh.
Gosh.
All right, and also returning is Meld. God help us all. I don't even know how to describe Meld.
It's the Goku and Vegeta fusion dance.
Yeah. So like
This was what one of the um,
one of the
Eldrazi sets.
yeah one of the Innistrad sets, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yes, it was in the
like Blood Moon or something like that.
Eldritch Moon,
Eldritch Moon.
and there was a vertical cycle. One parrot common, one parrot uncommon, and another parrot mythic.
Was there a parrot common? Really?
Yeah, it's rats and something else I don't remember right now.
Weird.
No, there was also a rare one. It was red. The rare one was a red creature in a land. The common
There
one was
an
a
angel and something.
yeah, that was the mythic one. Two of the angels.
Oh my god, you guys.
What?
Stark just said, for reference, Dual Decks debuted on episode 3, and they were discontinued in episode 490. Wow. Thank you, Stark, for putting that into perspective. Wow. Okay.
Okay, Judge Infinius says the one I'm thinking of, the red creature in the land, the creature was uncommon and the land was rare.
Oh, okay.
That is odd.
Very strange. But okay, so we've got Urza, Lord Protector, who is a 3-mana 2/4. 1, a blue and a white. For a legendary human artificer. He's a 2/4. He says artifact, instant, and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Wow, holy crap, that's kind of gross.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Jesus. Hey Dirk, what's the card next to him do?
the Might Stone and Weaker Stone. For 5
Close enough.
mana, it's a rare legendary artifact power stone. When it enters the battlefield, choose 1. Draw 2 cards. Target creature gets -5/-5 on a turn. And tap, add 2 colorless mana. This mana cannot be spent to cast non-artifact spells.
So that's so weird that they put the Might Stone and Weak Stone together on one card. That's weird.
Well, Might Stone and Weak Stone already exist, so.
Yeah. So like, whatever. But Urza has another ability. This is Urza Lord Protector. I don't know if I said his full name. That says pay 7 if you both own and control. Oh, you have to own them, so you can't steal someone's Might Stone and Weak Stone and meld them with your Urza.
Yeah, that's been a part of all of the meldings. You have to own and control both pieces.
I guess to keep you from snatching your opponent's cards accidentally.
Yeah, for accidentally walking away with someone else's card.
So, for 7 mana, if you both own and control Urza Lord Protector and an artifact named the Might Stone and Weak Stone, exile them, then meld them into Urza Planeswalker. Activate only as a sorcery. And then Urza Planeswalker, I really wish there was a way to turn this.
You can scroll down.
Oh, sick. Okay, so Urza Planeswalker is a giant-ass Planeswalker, because it's 2 cards side by side, that starts with 7 loyalty, and says, once during each of your turns, you may activate an additional loyalty ability of Urza Planeswalker, which means you get double uses out of Urza. That's pretty cool. And because what he does is he shoves them in his eye holes. You know, like sane people do.
Well, he doesn't have an Infinity Glove, so he has to put them somewhere.
You gotta put them somewhere. Don't put them in your pocket or anything, you weirdo.
And since he's got 2 stones, they got things that have 2 things.
See, look, you mentioned the Infinity Stone, the animals all lose their minds. What's wrong with you? Alright, so, +2. Artifact, instant, and sorcery spells you cast this turn cost 2 less to cast. You gain 2 life. Dear God, you can do that twice in a turn. Okay. +1. Draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Nice. 0. Create 2 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature tokens. Oh, the soldiers are colorless, or artifacts now. That's weird. -3. Exile target non-land permanent. That's pretty good. And then, of course, something as massive as Urza has to have a massive limit break. -10. Artifacts and planeswalkers you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Destroy all non-land permanents. So that's a thing. So yeah, he has lots of cool abilities, and he can blow up everyone's stuff that isn't yours, or at
That's
least
pretty cool.
your artifacts and planeswalkers will be safe.
Yeah.
But it's Urza, so that's all you've got. Let's be real. Urza doesn't care if people die. Psh. So yeah, that's Oh, Chifuji said they made at least one soldier token look like the old Yoshian soldier. Ah, that's awesome.
Oh, cool.
So let's see here. Yeah, I was just about to say that. Chat points out you can blow up the world on the second turn he's out, and he'll still be there. If you do +2 and then +2, the 1st turn he's out. Or hell, you could even do a +2 and a +1, and then do a +1 for your first ability of the turn, or a plus anything, and then -10, and he'll still be
that's
around.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, Urza's kind of ridiculous. So okay. So is there anything? I saw you answer a question in the chat. Is there anything we need to bring up?
Well, I think it was just people wondering about the reasoning behind having to own and control both pieces. Dementor brought up, is it due to them coming under their owner's control as default when things get exiled and come back? And, you know, and the point, my response was basically, you know, they'll enter under the control of whoever the effect says they will. It's not necessarily something that has to happen every time that they enter under their owner's control. Sometimes they enter. They can do other things. Like I know there are effects that people have used in past formats as neat tricks to like permanently steal something because it says exile it and then put it back on the battlefield under your control specifically. So, you know, whatever the effect says. But if you could meld two cards where only one of them belonged to you, then you'd get into a weird situation where you had an object on the battlefield with two owners. And that's just odd.
Oh yeah, because the melded thing is treated as one card.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So that's all the stuff that's in regular as Brothers War. There are some Transformers cards that are in some of the packs, the booster. I don't freaking know. And they've got other abilities too. So, like, Convert is how Transformers transform, because Transform was already a thing in Magic, so they didn't want to use Transform. Mm-hmm. So you convert to go from one version to the other. More Than Meets the Eye is an alternate casting cost, so you can cast it in its other form. So like Optimus Prime here costs 3 white, red, blue to put him down in robot form, but in you can play him in truck form for 2 white, red, blue. Truck. And then Living Metal is it just means it's a vehicle that doesn't have to crew, so it's always alive
during your turn.
Oh, is it just during your turn?
Yeah, the Living Metal vehicles, it's just as long as it's your turn,
oh,
it's also
okay.
a creature.
Gotcha. I missed that part.
Mm-hmm.
wonder why it's only on your turn.
I guess just for balancing reasons.
Weird. Oh, excuse me. So, yeah, there you go. Said there are, what is it, 15, I think it said? Yeah, there are 15 Transformers Universes Beyond cards to be found in this release. Which just pisses me off beyond all reason. Like, it's cool to have magic. I said on our big Watsy's Evil episode, it's fine to have, like, magic cards that are magic cards, and it's fine to have magic cards that are other IPs, but why is it part of the same freaking set?
And why is it in the set booster? Stop putting cards that aren't in the set booster. It's confusing.
Yeah.
Because these are not tournament legal, right?
Who knows?
In Vintage and Legacy.
Yeah, but they're not standard legal, I'm pretty sure.
No.
Then why
No.
are they in the boosters?
I mean, they're legal.
Because
If you open them in your limited pool, you can play them. But no, they're not part of the standard set, and they're not standard legal. But if you get one of these in your pre-release pack, you can be like, roll out, run someone over.
The whole thing is stupid.
It's kind of questionable.
So, I mean, you might not play limited with set boosters. Some people might.
What? Oh, well, dang it! What the heck? This is very confusing.
Yeah, remember, draft boosters are the boosters that we grew up with. Set boosters are
Okay.
a separate thing, and collector boosters are a separate thing.
Okay. I forgot there were 3 things. I thought there were just 2 things.
Yeah. So, okay, let's get into some of the stuff in the card image gallery, because why not? Chat, you guys know this. What should we talk about?
Well, there's 2 planeswalkers.
Oh, there are planeswalkers. Okay, where are they?
Okay, let's go.
The first one is Teferi
In
in blue.
Okay, is he mono blue or is he not? Oh, hey, Teferi. All right, what's he do?
So for 3 and 2 blue, he's planeswalker, legendary, blah blah blah. For his loyalty is 4 is what he starts. And it says whenever you draw a card, put a loyalty counter on Teferi, Temporal Pilgrim.
Oh my god.
Huh.
That's pretty cool.
Well, it might explain what's about to happen. So, first ability is 0. Draw a card.
Hey, that's really cool because it still adds loyalty even though it's not part of the cost.
Mm-hmm.
That's an important distinction that we've learned to just, not even think about anymore because planeswalkers have been around so long. But that's important.
Second ability is -2. Create a 2/2 blue spirit creature token with vigilance, and whenever you draw a card, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature.
All right,
That's
Teferi.
kind of cool.
That sounds so cool.
So he actually has a way of defending himself that actually is not bad.
And it has vigilance? Wow. Okay, Teferi.
And then his last ability is a -12, which is why he needed that draw
I'm
cards.
sorry,
with loyalty
what?
on. -12. Target opponent chooses a permanent they control and returns it to its owner's hand. Then they shuffle each non-land permanent they control into its owner's library.
What the hell? What?
So they
that's
get to keep one thing of their choice, and everything else gets shuffled. That's not a land. Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, that thematically makes sense. He's temporal, so he's like, yeah, all that stuff gets shuffled back in. It can come back another time.
Yeah. And chat has already picked up on what I mean by it being an effect, not a cost. Yes, doubling season will give, for the 0 effect, draw card, he'll get, if you have a doubling season out, he'll get 2 loyalty counters. Because it's an effect, not a cost. So, nice. So yeah, Teferi's pretty neat. I don't think this one is quite as, busted as some other Teferis. Thank goodness.
No. Very interesting. It's not overtly oppressive. Not oppressive from the get-go.
Yeah. All right, Dirk, where was the other Planeswalker?
The other one was in multicolored.
Excellent. Oh, it's Saheeli. Right. I knew there was a Saheeli.
Oh, Saheeli's back. Awesome. I like Saheeli.
Yeah. Well, tell us what she does then, Mike. You're so smart.
All right. After I finish scrolling, I can do that. Here I am. So Saheeli, Filigree Master, costs 2, a blue and a red, and starts on 3 loyalty. So 3 abilities here. +1 ability, scry 1. You may tap an untapped artifact you control. If you do, draw a card.
That's pretty
Cool.
good.
-2 ability.
Okay,
create-
wait.
What?
So you scry one first. You complete the scry.
Correct.
So the card that you want is either on top or on the bottom. And then you can untap an artifact and draw a card. So you
Tap
either...
an untapped artifact. Yes.
Sorry, tap. Right. You meant what I knew.
Yes.
So you'll either draw the card that you put back on top or the card that was below it.
Yes.
Gotcha. Sorry,
Yeah,
just
you do everything in order.
making
Scry
sure
first,
that was all
abilities.
correct in my head.
All right, -2. Create 2 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature tokens with flying. They gain haste until end of turn. Okay, so defensive or offensive.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Then finally, -4. We have a tiny ultimate ability. You get an emblem with artifact creatures you control get +1/+1, and artifact spells you cast cost 1 less to cast.
Wow. That's pretty good.
That is.
Especially since you can do that on your second turn having Saheeli out.
That makes me think of one of the Gideons from Battle for Zendikar.
Who even
Who
knows
could make
at this point?
who could make an anthem emblem?
Nope, I
Yeah,
have no
I like-
memory of that one.
I like this.
Well, and it's low enough that you can do this multiple times and you can just make all your artifacts bigger and cheaper every time.
I mean, that'll take some serious doing, but yeah.
Well, if
Yeah, it won't
this
take-
threat's not addressed.
Yeah. It'll take a long time to get more than 2, but gosh, having 2, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm. What if it costs 2 less? If it was an artifact.
Lord. So those are our Planeswalkers.
Mm-hmm.
Look, here's another Urza.
Yeah, okay. I guess I've seen more of this than I thought. Yeah, because so part of the story involves Teferi traveling back and forth through time for various reasons. So you see these characters at different points in their life. So there are multiple versions of Urza and Mishra in here.
Oh.
Showing them at different points in their story.
Oh. Yeah, Chad has just informed us there's an Urza and a Mishra at each rarity above common. Huh. All right, let's go check out all the Urzas. Control F. Not in chat. Jesus Christ. Over here. Control F. Urza. All right, so Urza Power Stone Prodigy at Uncommon. We're going to chart his rise through the rarities. So for 2 and a blue, he's a 1/3 human artificer. He's legendary, of course, with vigilance. For 1 and tap, draw a card, then discard a card. Nice. And whenever you discard 1 or more artifact cards, you get a tapped Power Stone. But that can only happen once each turn. That's good. So yeah, you're scrapping something and ripping out the Power Stone. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So then the rare one was the one we were just looking at. Urza, Prince of Krug. For 2, a white and a blue. He's a 2/3 human artificer now. Artifact creatures you control get +2/+2. And for 6, you create a token that's a copy of target artifact you control, except it's a 1/1 soldier creature in addition to its other types, which means it's a 3/3 soldier creature as long as this Urza's on the board.
And it doesn't have to be a copy of an artifact creature. It has to be a copy of any artifact.
Yeah, so you can put your, I don't know, your Mask of the Jade Crafter on a... Just make it grow legs and hand it a spear and send it out to poke somebody.
Yeah. Make a copy of the rack so it'll hurt your opponent during your upkeep and then punch them during combat.
And then punch them in the knee. Ah. And then we already talked about Mythic Urza. He's down here in the meld stuff at the bottom. Okay. So that's a trip. Let's do Mishra. Control F, Mishra. All right. Somebody read the one. He's in red. The uncommon one.
Okay, I'm there.
I was going to say, my co-hosts don't know how to control F, so they're scrolling.
Yep. So, Mishra, Excavation Prodigy. 2 and a red for a 2/1 legendary human artificer with haste. Pay 1 and tap, and discard a card first to draw a card.
Ah.
And whenever you
So,
discard one...
Urza loots, he rummages, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And whenever you discard 1 or more artifact cards, add red. This ability triggers only once each turn.
That is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So Mishra is all about getting it now, whereas Urza gets a Power Stone, which you can't use now, but it's permanent.
Yes.
Huh, okay. I like the difference in personality just right off the bat. Okay. And then we got a whole lot of Mishra's research. Here we go. Okay, back in gold is the rare Mishra.
Mishra, Tamer of Makfawa?
Look, man, you should know this because that sounds like a Star Wars name.
I know. Makfawa. For 3 and a black-red. It is a 4/4 human artificer that's rare and legendary. Permanents you control have ward, sacrifice a permanent.
Ooh!
Each artifact card in your graveyard has unearth of 1 black-red.
Ooh, that's also gross.
That's great.
Wow.
Each artifact. Oh, I forgot to mention that. There are some non-creature artifacts in here with unearth, I think.
Oh, no, you mentioned that.
I did? Okay.
Or chat did, and you said something that made me think that you had? No, whatever.
Yeah, one of those.
Makfawa is just the name the tribe he lived with called the Phyrexian Dragon Engines. Oh, okay. Oh, and hey, Magnus Veer just resubbed for 61 months. Thanks, buddy.
Gosh.
Yeah, right? That is not a small number. All right, so I'm guessing the last one is Meld again. Yep, he is.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's Mistress Foundry.
I thought there was another.
Oh, their name isn't listed, so the Control F didn't find it. Okay.
Yeah. I was trying to figure that out too. I was like, where's the Urza we saw earlier?
Yeah, all the way down at the bottom. All right. So, what does this Mishra do?
So this is Mishra claimed by Gix.
So that's bad, right?
That's bad.
Okay.
Gix is Yawgmoth's right hand thing. So for 2, a black and a red, we have a 3/5 legendary creature, Phyrexian Human Artificer.
Look at that tiny little type line.
Tiny little type line.
What is this, a type line for ants?
Whenever you attack, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of attacking creatures. Okay. If Mishra claimed by Gix and a creature named Phyrexian Dragon Engine are attacking, and you both own and control them, exile them, then meld them into Mishra lost to Phyrexia. It enters the battlefield tapped and attacking. So all of that was part of the same triggered ability that started with whenever you attack.
Yeah. That's crazy. So he's a 3/5 for 4 with this ability. Whenever you attack, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of attacking creatures. So just by itself, that's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Like I dig it. And then after that, if you've got the Dragon Engine, then crazy stuff happens.
Yes.
So, hey Dirk, why don't you tell us what the Dragon Engine does?
The Dragon Engine does. Alright, the Dragon Engine for 3, it's a 2/2 artifact creature, Phyrexian Dragon that's rare.
Huh.
It has double strike. When Phyrexian Dragon Engine enters the battlefield from your graveyard, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw 3 cards.
Jesus.
So it has to be in the graveyard. What?
Yeah, it has to come straight from the graveyard to the battlefield for that to happen.
Okay. And it has Unearth of 3 and 2 red.
Hey, look, a built-in way for it to come straight from the graveyard to the battlefield.
Yeah.
And then they meld together, oh god, into Mishra Lost to Phyrexia. Bro. So this is another, hang on, I have to adjust the way I'm sitting so I can turn my head. Legendary artifact creature, Phyrexian Artificer. The type line's not so tiny because it's printed vertically. Alright, this is a 9/9. Whenever Mishra Lost to Phyrexia enters the battlefield or attacks, choose 3. What? I've not seen this card. All right. Target opponent discards 2 cards. Cool. Mishra deals 3 damage to any target. Cool. Destroy target artifact or planeswalker. Cool. Wait a minute. Hang on. It's sideways again. Creatures you control gain menace and trample until end of turn. What the hell? Everybody's already attacking. All right. Creatures you don't control get -1/-1 until end of turn. You're serious, aren't you? Or create 2 tapped Power Stone tokens. So you can give... Okay. So let's say you attack with Mishra and the Dragon Engine and 2 other creatures. So they've already lost 4 life and you've gained 4 life.
Yes.
And then they meld. And so then you can give your 4 creatures menace and trample, because one of them is a 9/9, let's not forget. You can give your opponent's creatures -1/-1 just so more damage gets through. And then you can, like, I don't know, deal 3 damage to their biggest remaining blocker to pick it off. What?
Or if it's an artifact, just destroy it.
Or if it's an artifact, just destroy it. And then if Mish survives, then when you attack next turn, you get to pick 3 again. That's so good.
Yeah. That's fun.
Like it needs to be, because you have to have these two very specific creatures out and have them both attack at the same time in order to make this happen, which, is not something super easy to do.
Yeah, it's not trivial.
But, like, Jesus Christ. Stark said, "Oh, is that all? Is that all?" And then Phineas would also like fries with that. If you notice, there's just no pleasing people in our chat. How many abilities are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6. Okay.
And not one of them is. I mean, there's depends on the situation. There's preferred ones, but not one is like, yeah, you'll probably never use that one.
Right? Yeah. Like, these are all perfectly awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like Menace and Trample, when you're attacking with a 9/9, is probably going to be a thing you pick a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
But, like, the rest is all like, yeah, these are all good. I don't know. Whichever one is the best. Like, whichever one is best for our current situation. Like, if your opponent doesn't have cards in hand and, like, doesn't have creatures or artifacts or planeswalkers you want to blow up, but yet this attack won't kill them, sure, I'll get some Power Stones for next turn. Why not? Like... And yeah, we're totally going to read the last meld pair while we're down here, because those two are silly. All right. So it's Titania and Argoth. Oh, Argoth! Huh.
Cool.
All right. So who wants to read what? Because my throat hurts after reading Mishra. What was he called? Lost to Phyrexia. Buh.
I'll do Titania. So Titania, Voice of Gaia, for 1 and 2 green, is a 3/4 legendary creature elemental that's mythic and has reach. Whenever one or more land cards are put into your graveyard from anywhere, you gain 2 life.
Huh.
And at the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 4 or more land cards in your graveyard and you both own Titania and land named Argoth, Sanctum of Nature, exile them and meld them.
Okay, so anytime a land goes into your graveyard... Sorry. Anytime any lands go to your graveyard as part of one effect, you gain 2 life.
Yes.
So if, like, you sacrifice a land for something, you gain 2 life. If someone casts Armageddon, you gain 2 life. Like, this is not 2 life per land.
Correct.
And then, okay, at the beginning of your upkeep, if you've got 4 or more lands in your graveyard and you've got Titania and Argoth. Okay. So Argoth says, Argoth is a rare land that enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a legendary green creature. Taps for green mana, which, okay. It has no land type, by the way. It's just a land. And for 2 green in tap, you create a 2/2 green bear, then mill 3 cards. Huh. And activate only as a sorcery. Interesting. And Mike's ears pricked up. He's like, "Did you say mill? What?"
Yeah.
All right. So, Mike, tell us what... Jesus.
Okay.
So I just flipped over and looked at the art, and...
Which one is it
okay.
hiding behind? Okay. So Titania has the art box on the back for Titania Gaia Incarnate. And Argoth has the text box.
So what you get? A giant tree.
Giant tree. A legendary
a
elemental
giant
avatar.
A giant sexy tree. Thank you.
So a legendary elemental avatar. That's star for power and toughness. Let's see what we have going on here. So vigilance, reach, trample, haste.
You could stop there, and I'd be like, I'm out. Like,
just know what star is.
Yeah, we got to find out what star is. So the power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control.
Because of course it is.
Yeah, of course. When Titania enters the battlefield, return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped.
I can't say that on the show. Shut the front door. Which that's at least 4 in order to get them to meld.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, an activated ability. Pay 3 and a green, put 4 +1/+1 counters on target land you control. It becomes a 0/0 elemental creature. With haste, it's still a land.
That does not say until end of turn either.
Correct.
She's just like, hey, wake up. Go find an ass to kick. Yeah, all right. Titania is...
And it doesn't say... It's still a land. And it doesn't say you can only do this one time. So if you have enough land, you could make one land really big.
And like, you got 4 lands back. So next turn, you're guaranteed to have enough mana to wake up at least one land and be like, psst, hey.
You're a 4/4 now. Go create havoc.
Wow. Yeah, Titania is a badass.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what have we missed over here? Okay, nothing. So yeah, the meld cards, as expected, are completely ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, check out these lands, bro.
Yeah, the full art ones are cool.
Yeah, with the big mechanized creatures.
Whoa. These look like weapons in Final Fantasy waking up to come kick someone's ass.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, that one on the swamp with the weird
shot through it.
No, the other one with that looks like something from an Antiquities card. Gosh, what's it called?
I thought so too.
Obviously, it's inspired by that. I'll look it up.
Like the other one looks like a Praetor, a little bit.
I mean, one that looks like it's getting shot. Remember the scene from Final Fantasy VII where one of the weapons does get a giant hole through it?
Yeah. that definitely is reminiscent of that, yeah.
Buh. Ooh, and the regular lands are also pretty. But of course they are. It's magic lands. Look at the swamp with the arch. Oh, man, that's cool. Ooh, look at the other swamp.
Yeah, because shapes in the background that are gigantic are always good signs.
You're right. It's like purple lightning. That's always a good sign.
I just saw, what was it, Amonkhet? With the Nicobolas's horns in the background.
Right.
All of them. Yeah, that's a good sign. Nothing bad's gonna happen here.
Oh no, it was from Alliances, not Antiquities.
I was gonna say I didn't.
What was it?
I haven't found it yet. I just remember that I was looking in the wrong set.
Oh.
It reminds me of like some sort of thing, like a regenerator, not regenerator, something that like pulls things from the graveyard, is what it reminds me of.
We also got the rest of the pain lands that we didn't get in the last set. So Battlefield Forge, Brushland, Llanowar Waste, and Underground River. Because I think there were 6 in the last set.
Soldevi Steam Beast. That's what I'm thinking of.
Working on it. Soldevi Steam Beast.
Good luck spelling that.
Oh yeah, that is what that looks like. I know you didn't good luck spelling that to me. Yeah, check it out, chat. This guy right here. And yeah, totally see the resemblance. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen that art for Soldevi Steam Beast.
Yeah, there's 2 variants.
Yeah, the other one... Oh wow, yeah.
I think for alliances, some of these variants were not equally common.
Could be. This is the one that I've seen. This is a terrible card, by the way.
Yeah, the Soldevi artifacts had problems in general.
But anyway, all right, chat. You guys know the set better than we do. What else? What else are we looking at? Oh, chat says, speaking of Praetors, you guys should look at Gix. All right, where's Gix? I'm gonna guess in black.
Probably in black.
Possibly in multicolored.
Yes.
Not
Nope,
in
in black.
multicolored.
Gix is mono black. I found it.
Gix. Oh, you're pretty. All right, what's Gix do? Wait a minute, I'm gonna read Gix because I'm the black player here. For 1 black, Gix Yawgmoth Praetor is a 3/3 legendary Phyrexian Praetor. Imagine that. Who is mythic. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller may pay 1 life. If they do, they draw a card. Whenever a creature... Okay, hang on. Let me parse this. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents... Oh, so you're encouraging people to punch people that aren't you.
Yes.
Okay, now I get it. And then for 4 and 3 black, that is not a small number, and discard X cards, exile the top X cards of target opponent's library. You may play lands and cast spells from among cards exiled this way without paying their mana costs. That doesn't say this turn.
It doesn't, so that means you do it now. No, wait.
Or does that mean you can do it whenever? It's one of those two.
If it was you can do it whenever at some point in the future, it would say for as long as they remain exiled.
It would say that, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm. You're right.
Since it doesn't give a span of time, that means you're doing it now.
Do it now. But, I mean, you don't have to pay any mana costs, so yeah, do it now. Screw it.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, I hope not. You just spent 7. I don't know where you're going to get the rest of it.
And discarded a bunch of cards.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Gix is kind of silly. I do like the... See, this is an example of a card that's made to be played in a format such as Commander that's not a Commander card.
Yes.
Like, this is clearly meant to be played in multiplayer. So when a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller can Phyrexian Arena. Like, that is awesome. I mean, that applies to you too, clearly, but it's also great in multiplayer where, yeah, as long as you hit someone that isn't me, you can draw cards. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, there is a cycle of commands. Yeah, we should talk about those too. I've seen a couple of them, and they're kind of silly, like commands are. All right. Kayla's command in white. Who is Kayla?
Kayla bin Krug. She's one of the members of the royal family, I think. Or has something to do with the governance of the city.
Oh, yep. And chat says Urza's wife. Ah. No, Urza had a wife. Because, you know, Urza. You tend to not put much thought into normal human things when it comes to Urza. All right, so Kayla's command for 1 white. That is cheap. Choose 2. Create a 2/2 colorless construct. That's an artifact creature. Put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control. It gains double strike until end of turn. Ugh. Search your library for a basic plains card. Reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle. Huh, really? And then you gain 2 life and scry 2. Huh. That's a
Hmm.
hell of an assortment of abilities.
Yeah, I guess that's what you get when you're putting together a tiny command. Just costs 3, so
Huh. Like, I really like that. Those are all good.
mhm.
And
Yep.
it's been a long time since my brain saw search your library for basic planes, put it in your hand, and shuffle. What? What? Okay, so that's the white command. Blue command is... That's got to be Urza, right? Yep. All right, somebody read that.
Urza's command for 2 and 2 blue. It's a instant that's rare. Choose 2. Creatures you don't control get -2/-0 until end of turn. Create a tapped Power Stone token. Create a tapped 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token with this creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control.
Ooh.
And scry 1, then draw a card.
Huh. Those... Huh. Yeah, right. Yeah, that all seems fine.
Yeah.
Like weaken creatures and get a power stone, sure. You know, make a construct and draw a card, sure. Because your construct is always, you know, a 1/1 because it's an artifact itself.
Because it's itself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. A little less neat, but still pretty cool. Why is there an artifact here? Oh, prototype. Oh, the prototype cards are listed here.
Mm.
Oh.
Well, this is weird because so they have the Arcane Proxy and the Depth Charge Colossus, but then they have Combat Courier, which just has a blue in its unearth cost. They have
Mhm.
Coastal Bulwark, which interacts with islands. Look at how they're numbered. They're in the right order based on their collector numbers. They were put in the blue section, even though they're not blue, and Coastal Bulwark doesn't even have any blue symbols on it. It just likes islands.
Okay, hang on. Let me go back up to white again. I scrolled up for a second, but... So white is the same way.
Yep. All of them are the same way.
I did not notice that.
Prototype. That one's got white in it. That one's got white in it. Okay, all of the white ones have white in them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't do something like just interact with islands.
Mm-hmm.
For this set only, an artifact that synergizes with a color is sorted with those colors. It is specifically for this set. But why? Like, I understand, like, you would do that when you're sorting cards for, like, the pre-release, but, like, in the... What?
I guess maybe for display purposes for things like the card image gallery or gather search results.
Maybe?
I don't know.
That's really weird, though.
It's weird.
All right. So who's the next? Is Mishra gonna be the black one?
Gix's command.
Oh no, Gix was the black one. Yeah, there it is. Okay. What's that do?
So Gix's command, it's a big one. 3 black, sorcery. So sorcery that costs 5. This should be good. So choose 2. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on up to 1 creature. It gains lifelink until end of turn.
Ooh.
Destroy. Why does that not target? Destroy each creature with power 2 or less. Return up to 2 creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. That doesn't target either. Each opponent sacrifices a creature with the highest power among creatures they control.
Yeah, why does the first one not target? I understand the third one not targeting.
Doesn't either.
I don't know why I understand, but the third one not targeting doesn't bother me. But the first one not targeting bothers the hell out of me.
I'm curious. I'm going to look at the checkers real quick. No.
I mean, I understand with the third one, that means that you can target someone else's graveyard.
No, it says your graveyard.
Oh, from your... Okay.
Kayla's command doesn't target either for the +1/+1 counter that it puts on a creature. You know, I wonder if they're doing this to avoid. Oh, Judge and Phineas just beat me to it in chat, I think.
Yeah.
They're doing this to avoid the situation where removing the one target fizzles the whole spell. If you
Oh,
choose
okay.
a mode that targets.
Yeah, so if you go put 2 +1/+1 counters on this target creature and destroy each creature with power 2 or less, and someone zots your small creature that you were going to put counters on
Mm-hmm.
because it's only got one target, the spell is countered. And that really does feel bad, because why wouldn't the rest of the spell go off? Okay.
Yeah, that was a way to. I remember that coming up for Cryptic Command if someone used the bounce mode. If you did something to get rid of the target that they were bouncing, then it would cancel whatever else they were trying to do with it.
Well, if they were trying to draw a card.
Or tap all your creatures.
Or tap all your creatures, yeah. Like the counter would still go off.
Well, yeah.
Because that one, then it's 2 targets.
Valid target, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so you're probably right then. That is, I was like, God, are they changing how targeting works after all these years? Why would they do that? Nope. It's that makes a lot more sense. That it's so you can't counter a whole command that way. I get it.
The Alchemist says it'll be real funny if you put the counters on an opponent's creature to make them sacrifice it with the last mode. Yeah, I thought about that too. If you really want something dead
Yeah.
and can't kill it otherwise.
That is pretty funny. It's like, oh, look, that one's got one more power than everything else now. Aw. Guess you gotta sacrifice it. Meh. Alright, so the red command will be Mishra. Yeah, there it is. Alright, so Mishra's command... What the hell? Mishra's command is an X spell. Oh my god. Why did I pick this one to read? Okay, X and a red. For a rare sorcery, choose 2. Choose target player. They may discard up to X cards, then they draw a card for each card discarded this way. Ooh, forced rummaging. Ooh.
Well, they may.
Oh, they may.
Mm-hmm.
But why? Oh, they may discard. I was like, no, it says then they draw. It's not may draw, it's may discard. Well, then why would... Oh, target player is you! Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My brain said target opponent because red X spell, so it's burn.
Oh,
But
yeah.
no. Okay. I understand now. We're good. I was like, why would they choose to discard? Because target player is stupid. Okay, anyway. Moving on. That's 1. This spell deals X damage to target creature. Okay, it's a blaze. The spell deals X damage to target planeswalker. All right. Nice. And what the last one is, target creature gets +X/+O and gains haste until end of turn. Huh.
All 4 of these modes target.
Yes, they do.
Well, yeah, because you can't counter the whole thing unless you kill both targets.
Right.
So that seals it then. That is literally why they changed how the other 2 work. Because otherwise, like, because if any one of these didn't target, they would have had to, like, rearrange everything or rewrite it so they all target, which they do. Huh. Fascinating. That is a really nice little bit of, like looking into the way the designer's mind works. Huh.
Just watch, the green one's going to have 2 modes that target, 2 that don't.
Right. Let's go find out. Who's the green one?
Probably Titania.
Yep, Titania's command. Okay, somebody read this one. Dirk, read this one.
Titania's Command for 4 and 2 green. That's pretty expensive.
I was gonna say, dear God, it costs 6.
It's rare. Choose 2. Exile target player's graveyard. You gain 1 life for each card exiled this way.
Okay, well,
Search your library.
targeting a player I think is fine because you're not gonna respond by removing a player, right?
I concede.
Like,
I'm
no.
gonna remove you from the game, and I
Like-
gain life.
Would it be possible to give like an opponent shroud or something? at
There are
instant
effects that
speed?
give players hexproof, yeah. I don't know about instant speed, but
Huh. Okay, anyway, keep going. Sorry.
Search your next one. Search your library for up to 2 land cards. Put them into onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle.
There's a word missing from that.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't say basic.
Basic.
Ooh. Okay.
All right, next one. Create 2 2/2 green bear creature tokens.
Hi, bears.
Put 2 +1/+1 counters on each creature you control.
Huh.
Hers is not bad.
it's good stuff.
Okay.
And because you have to do these in order, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, you could make 2 4/4 bears.
Yeah, but I say you put you put the bears down first, and then you give them 2 +1/+1 counters.
And for 6 mana, 2 4/4 bears is pretty damn good.
It is.
Stark said in response, I killed Ted. Yeah, see, like, you wouldn't do that just to counter the command. At least I hope you wouldn't, you bastard. But not you, Stark. I mean, a generic you. Oh, you too, Stark, you bastard. But, wow. Yeah, this is one that showed up in the Discord that I saw. Because someone was like, oh, how come they didn't have the 2 effect on the first ability? Because you get 2 land cards, you make 2 bears, you put 2 counters. And then what? Oh. Exile target player's graveyard, gain 1
Twice.
life. What? And Phineas says, I killed Steve on the bus. Oh, poor Steve on the bus.
Oh no.
Man, I hope he's all right. Hope he's not trapped on the bus since Monday Night Magic went to sleep. Anyway, yeah, I like this round of commands. It's pretty cool.
They are.
Yeah. Didn't Dave Guetta make a song about Titania? I feel like I should get the reference you're talking about. What was that? Was it... Is he the one that did Sexy Bitch?
I don't know.
That was Titanium. Oh. Clearly I was thinking of something else. All right, now what do we talk about?
There's legendary creatures. There's mythic cards.
Oh yeah, let's do a run
There's
through.
some prototypes.
Let's do a run through and hit the mythics that we haven't seen yet. All right, in white we have In the Trenches, which is an anthem. For 1 white, it's an enchantment that says creatures you control get +1/+1. But then it says, for 5 and a white, exile target non-land permanent you don't control until In the Trenches leaves the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery and only once. So it's an anthem that later you can use to O-ring something.
I like this.
That is fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
But this doesn't say, because it's this, there's no limit on what you can O-ring, right?
What do you mean?
Oh, only once. And only once. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, only once means only once ever.
Yeah.
Okay. I missed part is that activate only as a sorcery, and I didn't read the rest of that.
Ah,
So I'm like what? Once a turn, you can be like, yeah, that's you. You can't have that.
Hey, David Guetta did do Sexy Bitch. And Titanium. Hey, look at that. I only know one of those. Hey, you guys know the. Hey, you guys are also old. Do you know The Weeknd?
I'm familiar. Yeah.
I'm always working for the weekend.
Well, I mean, everybody's working for the weekend. I ask randomly because that's the new latest song pack that came out for Beat Saber is a bunch of the Weeknd songs.
Oh, cool.
And for me, who doesn't listen to music anymore, like hardly ever, I actually recognized like 3 of them, and I was like, "What?"
He had some pretty big songs.
Yeah, and you get a little preview of each song on Beat Saber, so I listened through all of them, and I'm like, "Damn, these are good. I might buy that pack." Hey, Mike, when y'all coming to play more Beat Saber? Let's see.
Ashley heard you say that. She'd be like, "Ooh, can we go tomorrow?" I was like, "No, we already have plans for tomorrow." Like, oh,
I mean, surely your other plans are not more important than hanging out with me. I mean, psh. All right. Also in white, we have Myril. Myril? Myril?
Sounds good to me.
Muriel? No, not Muriel. Muriel. No. Anyway, somebody read this card so I'll stop trying to pronounce it.
all right. Miral Shield of Argive.
Argivy?
Argiv. That's it. That's the one. For 3 and a white, a 3/4 legendary human soldier. During your turn, your opponents can't cast spells or activate abilities of artifacts, creatures, or enchantments.
Buh.
Whenever Mural Shield of Argive attacks, create X/1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature tokens, where X is the number of soldiers you control.
What a weird ass card.
Yeah.
She's like a double cost hate bear that amplifies your soldiers. What?
Now,
And
don't get too
Phineas,
excited. The soldier tokens aren't tapped and attacking. They're just there.
they're just there. Yeah, that's important.
Don't get crazy.
And Phineas said, when can I come over to play Beat Saber? I mean, if you ever find yourself on this half of the world, dude, let me know.
So every time she attacks, if nothing happens to the soldiers, she just is it exponential?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Holy crap!
Like if she's your only creature and she attacks, you make a soldier because she's a soldier.
Mm-hmm.
And then next turn, if she survives and she attacks, you'll make
And the
2
other
more
one
because you've
survived,
got
there's
her in the
4.
first one. Yeah.
And then if you do that, that's 8. Just holy crap!
Next one is 16. Next one is,
32.
Your opponent comes back from the bathroom and is like, "What have you been doing?"
Math.
Oh man, that reminds me of an old joke. How many amoebas does it take to change a light bulb? 1, no. 2, no. 4, no. 8, no. 16, no. 32, no. 64. Stop! 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 Okay, sorry. Oh. Okay, there's one in white artifacts. The platoon dispenser. That's a cool name.
Sounds like the last one we just talked about.
So what's this one do?
The platoon dispenser for 5 is a 4/6 mythic construct. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more other creatures, draw a card. For 3 and a white, create a 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature token. It has unearth of 2 and 2 white.
What a weird ass card.
At least something crazy doesn't happen whenever you draw that card.
You're right.
Yeah.
I love the flavor text. Hear that thud clank, we're saved. Wow. Excuse me. Oh, there's another. Oh, Urza Silex. I've heard of this. I don't know what it does, though. So for 3 mana, it's a legendary artifact. For 2 white, tap and exile Urza Silex. Each player chooses 6 lands they control. Awful presumptuous of you to think I have 6. Destroy all other permanents. Oh god! Activate only as a sorcery. Huh. And then it says, when Urza Silex is put into exile from the battlefield, you may pay 2. If you do, search your library for a Planeswalker card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. What a weird-ass card.
So is this the reason why there was an Ice Age after this? It's because this thing went off and flattened everything?
Yep.
I mean, actually, yeah.
Story-wise, yeah.
It was the, what was it known as? The Golgothian Silex?
Yeah, the Golgothian Silex.
Yeah. Alchemist said, obliterating some of the countryside and all the peasants. Wow, that's a nice reference. All right, in blue we have One with the Multiverse. So is this a Doctor Strange thing? For 6 blue, it's a blue mythic enchantment. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may wait, what? You may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. This looks familiar. Oh no, Future Sight turns it up so everyone can see it though, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so it's almost Future Sight. Oh, but there's more. Once during each of your turns, you may cast a spell from your hand or the top of your library without paying its mana cost. What the hell is this card?
Well, it costs 8, so.
Oh, that is true, yeah. But still, what? Buh.
Still, yeah, that's cool.
That is cool. If only you could use Power Stones to cast it. Aw. But you can't, can ya? Okay, we did Teferi. There's an artifact wizard that's mythic. You know what? I looked at the art, I looked at the type line, and now I have to stop. Someone read this damn card.
Arcane Proxy for 7. It's a mythic wizard that's a 4/3. It has prototype. I'll come back to that. When Arcane Proxy enters the battlefield, if you cast it, exile target instant or sorcery card with mana value less than or equal to Arcane Proxy power from your graveyard. Copy that card. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost.
Oh.
And then the prototype is for 1 and 2 blue, and it's a 2/1.
Okay, so for 7 mana, you essentially are getting a free flashback of an instant or sorcery in your graveyard that costs 4 or less. Which,
yes.
And then you get a 4/3 on top of that, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
But then the prototype, you get, for 3 mana, you get the flashback, a free flashback of something that costs 2 or less, and you have a 2/1, which seems better.
That's a lot of value, yeah.
Yeah.
So the proxy is there. That's what the 4/3 or 1/2/1 thing is.
Mm-hmm.
You may cast, so you get the instant or sorcery, and you can cast that.
So you're exiling an instant or sorcery that's already in your graveyard, and you make a copy and you cast it for free. I don't know why it's worded that way.
There are reasons, but
oh, okay.
They're fiddly ones, and we don't need to get into them.
Fiddly rules reasons. So yeah, essentially, like I said, you're getting a free flashback of an instant or sorcery that's in your graveyard.
Okay, and you can only use it the one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's an enters the battlefield effect. Yeah, there's a lot of words. It's very densely packed, this card.
In my head, I'm going, and you can do this once a turn or something like that. Is what I'm trying to be like. Is that in there somewhere?
There are a lot
And
of
so
things
that's
this
why
card
I
doesn't
kept
say.
rereading it, going, "Is that's it? Is it just it brings it out and that's it?" So yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of things the card doesn't say, which is weird considering how many words are on it.
But yeah, as far as
Being a
the
mythic.
like the cost goes, prototyping this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have flash, but otherwise it's doing a very strong Snapcaster Mage impression.
Yeah. And then for 7, getting something, in the later game, getting something bigger to cast again is even better.
Mm-hmm.
Man, okay, that was cool. Oh god, here's another one in blue. A Surge engine. Oh man, y'all remember Surge? I love Surge.
He was the mage that floated off the ground, right?
No, I meant the drink that was high in caffeine that was not Mountain Dew.
Let's think of Chrono Cross.
Oh, I never played Chrono Cross because I stopped after the good one. But bump. All right, so Surge Engine for 2 mana is a construct that's a 3/2 with Defender. Okay. For a single blue, it loses Defender and gains this creature can't be blocked. Oh. That's nice. For 2 and a blue, it becomes blue and has base power and toughness 5/4. Activate only if Surge Engine doesn't have Defender. Okay. I get it. All right. So, wait. That doesn't end.
Yeah, we're in Figure of Destiny territory here.
I was about to say, this sounds familiar. And then for 4 blue, draw 3 cards. Jesus. Activate only if Surge Engine is blue and only once. Oh, so it's like Daffy Duck. I've got a really great trick, but I can only do it once. Okay, so you play it early. It's a 3/2 with Defender. And then at some point when you've got mana left over, you pay a blue and it becomes a 3/2 unblockable. And then at some point after that, you can 2 and a blue to make it a 5/4 that's still unblockable. And then at some point way later, you can draw 3 cards if you want.
Mm-hmm. And you still have a 5/4 that's unblockable.
I can't imagine you needing to draw 3 cards if you've got an unblockable 5/4, but that's just me.
I mean, I really like to draw cards, so.
It's true, yeah. Okay, now that I've figured out that it's not Figure of Destiny, like now it makes more sense. Cool. All right, more mythics. Trying to get through them all. We did Gix.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a shade? Misery Shadow.
Phyrexian Flesh Gorger that we talked about before.
Oh.
Yeah, the Flesh Gorger.
Way to go,
Draconic
George.
Destiny.
Draconic Destiny. All right, what's that do?
For 1 and 2 red, it's a mythic aura enchantment. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has flying haste, and for 1, this creature gets +1/+1/+0 until end of turn. It's a dragon in addition to its other types. When enchanted creature dies, return Draconic Destiny to its owner's hand.
Huh. That's gross. That is gross, right?
That's good. That's a really
like
fun
in limited?
card. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, limited. It's not so.
Wow.
I wonder if this
And
is.
obviously the 1 is fire breathing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get any color fire breathing. That's wow. And it does the almost Rancor thing. It goes back to your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's really good. I like it. But all right, moving on. Don't have time to dwell. We're 15 now. We're too old to be dwelling.
Right.
Skitterbeam Battalion.
Skitterbeam. That's a good word. Mike, tell us what a Skitterbeam Battalion does with your face and your beard.
Skitterbeam Battalion is something with a big old laser on its back.
I bet it says wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, I can hear it just looking at it. So for nine,
That is not a small number.
yeah,
No.
for 9, it's a 4/4 construct with trample and haste, and when it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, create 2 tokens that are copies of it.
Oh,
Wow.
no wonder
Yeah.
it costs 9.
No wonder it costs
Yeah.
9. Now the prototype cost is 3 red, and you get a 2/2 base. That, of course, has trample and haste and will make 2 token copies of it when it enters the battlefield.
Wow.
I'm guessing, I mean, that has to mean prototype affects the card's copyable values.
Yeah. That is so cool. Yeah, if it was a 5-mana 2/2 that made 2 4/4s, they wouldn't know. So, wow. Okay, that is freaking out. It's an instant battlefield. Like, hey, look at all these critters I have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that a lot. That's kind of gross.
Yeah, that revelation, that means it's even more important to make sure you can definitely keep track of what's going on with how prototype cards were cast, because there are effects in this set that can make copies of artifacts. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
So keep in mind that's what's going on.
Yeah. If something enters the battlefield, like, wait, no. If something makes a token copy of an artifact of a Skitterbeam Battalion, it's not gonna make 2 extra copies. Now, if you clone it, would that make 2 copies?
Yeah, because you cast the clone.
Okay, that's what I thought. Wow. Okay. Neat. Okay, more mythics. Awaken the Woods. That was easy. That's right here. What's that do?
X 2 green. For X and 2 green. It's a sorcery. Create X 1/1 green forest dryad land creature tokens. They're affected by summoning sickness. Okay.
Thank goodness.
Finally, we get Leaf Ball.
Shut up, Mike. Oh, and the flavor text on that is great too. We expected the Argothians to stand their ground. We didn't expect the ground itself to stand. Oh, and that's Myrel, Shield of Argive. Oh, look, they reprinted Blanchwood armor.
Yep. I saw that too.
Yeah, they have a little cycle of I like basic land cards.
Oh,
I
nice.
can't remember if some of them are reprints. I don't think all of them are. Yeah, no, not all of them are.
Oh, I know we're doing mythics, but hey, Mike, read Audacity real quick.
Audacity.
Not the program that I used to put together the podcast.
So for a single green mana, it's an uncommon enchantment aura. It has enchant creature. The enchanted creature gets +2/+0 and has trample. That's suspiciously familiar.
Right.
When Audacity is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card.
I actually like this a lot better than Rancor, as
Yes.
far as balance.
Yes.
Because balance, Rancor was a bitch to get rid of.
Yeah, it was a major pain.
Whereas this, like, it's Rancor, but instead of coming back to your hand, you just draw a card, which is still freaking awesome.
Mm.
There's a typo in Audacity. Enchanted creature gets +2/+0 and has trample. When Audacity is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. Is it a graveyard?
Draw. It says not. Doesn't
Oh,
say
it says
draw
draw
a card.
card.
It says draw card.
Ha! Draw a card. When audacity's put into a graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. Draw a card. Oh, that is pretty funny.
I would have never seen that on my own.
No, because draw a card is just seared into our brains.
Yeah.
Stark said, me generate card advantage. Thank you, Razorback. I needed that.
And then root wire amalgam is the other one.
I'm sorry. I can't. Oh, that's down in the
The
here it
artifact
is.
thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god, I've still got draw a card. Whew, okay. What's it do, Dirk? I'm dying over here.
Root wire amalgam for 5. It's a 5/5. That's it. That has 3 and 2 green. Sacrifice root wire amalgam. Create an XX colorless golem artifact creature token, where X is 3 times a root wire amalgam's power.
What?
Oh my gosh, there's too much math involved in this. It gains haste until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery.
I mean, I don't know if times 3 is too much math. I mean, that's too much to put on a card?
Create, sacrifice it. Create an XX colorless artifact token where X is 3 times. So if you sacrifice it, become what, a 15/15?
Yeah, you make a 15/15 with haste.
Okay. And then it has prototype for 1 and a green, and it's a 2/3.
So for 5 mana, you'll get a 6/6, which is which is still good, but like much less.
Yeah. But it can attack right away, so.
That is true. Wow, that card is a trip. 3 times? That is too many times.
Yeah.
Buh. All right, moving on. We got to scroll away from that before my brain falls out. Sahili. What's a Sarenth? Sarenth? Is that a word? Sarenth?
I guess so.
It is now.
I'm guessing it's Sarenth and not Sarenth, because that just doesn't feel right. Sarenth Great Worm. Look at how great this worm is. For 4, a red and a green, which is 6 mana, it's a worm with trample, and it's a 7/6. Okay, is there a drawback? Whenever a land... Oh, here we go. Whenever a land enters the battlefield, that's not a drawback. Create a tapped Power Stone token.
Yeah.
My brain just did the thing where it's like, why doesn't this just say landfall? I thought they were going to make that, like, deciduous. Oh, it's not under your control. Mike, it's not under your control.
I know, it's everybody.
Why is this a 7/6 with trample for only 6 mana that then also does that? Are we old? Like...
So whenever a land enters the battlefield, everyone gets a Power Stone?
No, whenever anyone plays a land, you get a Power Stone.
Oh.
Anybody. When a land enters the battlefield for any reason. Yeah, did your brain just fall out? Because it took, I was reading it, and it was like click, 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 click.
Oh my gosh.
I have all these Power Stones and nothing to do with them.
That amalgam's gonna get played.
You're right? Yeah, we're totally gonna blow up our root wire amalgam and hit you with a 15. Wait. At least the 15/15 doesn't have any sort of evasion or trample, or it hits now. Anyway. All right, I like this. This worm is great. Phineas said that was so loud I heard that while on a work call and not having my headphones on. Whoops, sorry about that. Jeez Jesus. All right. Oh God, there's 2 more down here in the
In the
multicolored
section.
the multicolored artifact section. Because that's a thing now. All right. That great worm broke my face. Okay.
We got another
The
serpent this time.
Yeah, the blade coil serpent is kind of sick though. I've seen this one. So somebody that hasn't seen this one should read it.
Blade coil serpent for X and 6 is a 5/4 artifact creature serpent. When blade coil serpent enters the battlefield, for each blue spent to cast it, draw a card. When it enters the battlefield, for each black spent to cast it, each opponent discards a card. When the blade coil serpent enters the battlefield, for each red spent to cast it, it gets +1/+0 and gains trample and haste until end of turn.
So what's cool about this card is that for 6 mana, you could just make a 5/4 in any color, like it's an artifact.
Yeah.
So 6 mana 5/4 at Mythic is really terrible, but if you're playing like white and just need a beefy creature, you could throw it in. Why not? But like, if you're playing any of these colors, this card gets stupid fast. Because, like, you don't have to put anything into X. Like, this could say, get a 5/4, draw 3 cards.
Yeah, if you use all blue, yeah.
Yeah, or get a 5/4, each opponent discards 3 cards. Or, get an 8/4 with trample and haste. And that's just monocolor without touching X. Like, if you've got mana to burn, you can just have a party. All right, I'll draw 2 cards, and everybody discard a card, and I'll give it haste and +1/+0. Yeah, okay. Like, the design on this card is fascinating. Like, that is elegant as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of love it. And it's so cute. I kind of want to give it kisses. That's not an eye. What is that? I guess that's technically an eye or optic
Laser
circuit.
beam to sear through your soul.
No, he's a sweetheart. Look at him. He's cute. God, I've been hanging out with Amanda too long. All right, so what does Clay do? Oh my God, Clay's the same kind of card. I haven't seen this one. What's it do, Mike?
Just with the other colors, with green and white. So Clay Champion is X and 4. It's a construct. It's a base 2/2. It enters the battlefield with 3 +1/+1 counters on it for each green spent to cast it. So yeah, that.
Wait, that's an 8/8 for 4.
It is. It's an 8/8 for 4.
What?
That really caught. Yeah, I was surprised at that.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't have trample or anything else, but still, it's an 8/8 for 4.
That is too many for not enough.
Yeah. And the other one, when it enters the battlefield, choose up to 2 other target creatures you control. For each white spent to cast Clay Champion, put a +1/+1 counter on each of them.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. I like this one too.
Hmm.
Wow, those are cool designs.
They are.
Huh. So I'm just staring at them with my mouth open, but I'm not on a video, so it looks like we've just all dropped off the call. Huh. Okay then. So those are that's really cool.
2 left.
All right, 2 left. The Cityscape Leveler. What the? All right. It's an 8 mana 8/8 construct with trample. Hey! When you cast this spell, what spell? Oh, this. Oh, when you cast this spell and it's not an enters the battlefield effect. And whenever a cityscape leveler attacks, destroy up to one non-land permanent, its controller creates a tapped Power Stone token. And it has Unearth of 8. Okay. So you can't do that without shenanigans. You can't do this more than once a turn. Like once when you cast it, and then next turn when it attacks, and then the next turn when you unearth and it attacks.
Yeah, because Unearth isn't casting the spell.
Right.
Unearth is an activated ability. So.
Yeah. So unless you give it haste somehow, you're only blowing up one thing at a time.
Mm-hmm.
I do like it. A giant crater, like a giant thing lands on their creature and makes a crater, and then it gets up and shambles away, and there's a Power Stone sitting there.
Sorry for blowing up your city. Here's some gold.
Yeah, here's a battery. It keeps going and going and going. All right, that is a fascinating card.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the last one? The portal. Oh my god. Well, it is a story spotlight card. I'm like, spoilers, I guess. All right, Mike, what's it do?
The portal to Phyrexia costs 9 for an artifact. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices 3 creatures. At the beginning of your upkeep, put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It's a Phyrexian in addition to its other types. This is something I could really think about people playing seriously as like a one-of control finisher, especially supported by some Power Stone tokens to make it not so ridiculously expensive.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Oh, and the flavor text is brutal. After 5,000 years, the nightmare returned. That is a tagline for a horror movie. Which is why I did it in that voice. Wow. Okay. Whoa, Suchi Cave Guard.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Huh. It's like Suchi, but with 8s instead of 4s.
Yep.
Jesus. Anyway. So I guess we should probably stop, because I get the feeling Dirk's about
And
to
the
fall
mana
out.
carries across phases, so you can actually use it.
Oh, it does? Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll read it. So for 8 mana, it's an 8/8 with Vigilance and Ward 4. It's uncommon. And when it dies, you add 8 colorless mana. And until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. Oh. That's really cool. Wasn't Suchi named after 2 different languages, words for 4?
Yes.
I wonder why they didn't name this 2 different words for 8. I guess because we wouldn't have gotten the joke.
No, we would have had to have some, geriatric player explain it to us. Thankfully, we are those geriatric players.
It's true, we are. All right. So like I said, I get the feeling Dirk's about to fall out, so we should probably call it for the night. Does that sound good to you, Dirk?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So hit us with your final thoughts. And don't
My
forget,
final thought.
we're 15 now.
Almost old enough to drive. We're gonna at least get our driver's permit. I'm glad that we've been able to do this for 15 years. It's something I did not expect to happen, but I'm glad it has. I eagerly await another 15 years of all this to see how things go. I don't know if we'll still be talking about Magic, but, as long as we can keep going another 15, that'd be awesome.
Then we will be yelling at kids to get off our lawn.
Yeah. Um,
Back in my day, we had to use controllers to play video games. Okay, Grandpa, let's get you to bed.
it's in terms of my final thought and everything. I was telling Mike, I am very glad that we have tomorrow off and everything, because it has been one of those exhausting weeks of, oh my gosh, I just need it to get to Pseudo Friday. When it gets to Pseudo Friday, I will be good.
Wait,
Then
you don't
I
have to
can
work
actually-
tomorrow?
No,
Oh, we could keep going for another half an hour.
no, I'm going to bed. I am exhausted. Plus, I do have to get up early to go get the to get some more of my kiddos, like my children.
Fine.
I gotta go pick up my children. So, and I know Chelsea will be also glad when this week is over, because I can tell her brain she is also tired and brain is fried. Brain fried.
And Phineas just said, oh God, in 15 years it's feasible that there'll be a grandpa on this podcast. Actually, yeah. Because Sam would be, what, 27?
Mm-hmm.
And Trevor? Yeah.
Yep.
It is feasible.
Trevor would technically be 26, but
I mean, whatever. Same thing. Old enough to have spawned an offspring. That sounds awful.
because we'll be, I think all of us will be in our 50s.
Yeah.
I mean, I turned 42 this year, so in another 15, I'll be, what did I just say, 42? So I'll be 57? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, damn near
As well as
60.
I think we'll be high enough that all of us will actually be in our 50s.
Maybe I'll finally have found a girlfriend by then. Probably not.
And with that, I am actually going to head off to bed, everybody. So, have a good night, everyone.
Night, Zerk.
Good night, Kurt.
And Phineas, you should be sorry. That's awful. Hey, just a reminder that you can go to patreon.com/themanapool and sign up to become a lifeguard, which gets you early access. Which gets me to choke to death, which gets you early access to podcasts and to, what's the word I'm looking for? Videos. Although I'm not going to post all of the videos on Patreon anymore because literally no one watches them. So like the first one in a series, like I put up the first inscription video on Patreon and the rest I'll just put on YouTube. I put up the first mortuary assistant video there because nobody watches them, so it's just a waste of time and it clutters up your inbox. However, deep end videos will be going up there, and I need people to watch them for me early. So, because it's the first one, I still haven't gotten the Zelda video ready to go yet, but it is being worked on. I realized that I'm going to need to just pick a direction and go. Because right now I'm like, how do I work all this in? And I don't. I think it's the answer to that. So, But anyway, you can also, if you so choose, get access to the odds and ends, which is behind the scenes nonsense that we do before and after the podcasts. And the RSS feed is now a thing, so all of the audio that gets posted you can get access to more easily. If you're a lifeguard already, then they sent you an email when I turned it on. And if you didn't see that, you can find it relatively easily. I don't actually know where off the top of my head, but you can find it in I Google it. That's how I found out. That's how I found out how it works. Patreon, RSS feed, and it'll tell you where to find it. Because I look at things from the creator side, not from the patron side, so I don't know how any of that side works. Even though I'm a patron of like 2 or 3 different people, I don't actually use any of their anything. Hey, you can get early access to... Yeah, right. And of course, you can get the sponsorship shout out, which gets you the call out here on the show and on the end screen for all of the YouTube videos. So let me thank... Oh, this order works. Al, Kim Ho, Scuzzo, John Parker, Jake Jansons. Hey, Mike, that guy. I love that guy. Tim Hellas Are You, Violet Moon, The Beast Father, Aaron Goodwine. Hang on. Jason Kaus, Andrew Hunt, Cody Buckowing, Casey, Pinball Witch, Jason Doan. I don't trust that guy. Mr. Dr. Lewis, Connor Kennedy, ALK Alters, and Andrew Odie. Thank you all so very much for your support. And all of you at every tier, all of you lifeguards. I love you all. Yeah. So, hey, do I have any sort of actual final thought? Not really. Like, the 15 years thing sort of snuck up on me. Like, I was like, hey, it's the old man's birthday. Oh, my God. Our show turned 15 today, too. Like, that's how I woke up this morning. Because, like, I was prepared for the old man's birthday. Because, like, that's a thing I remember. Because his birthday has been this day my entire life. And it's easy to remember Mom's birthday because it's Mike's birthday.
That's right.
Or the other way around. It's like July 5th or something. I did that just to piss him off. But yeah, 15 years is ridiculous. And someone pointed out earlier, we're doing Magic's 30th anniversary this year, which means we've been around for half of Magic. And I went, oh. Oh, God, my head. So, yeah, it's pretty fascinating. And terrifying. And all of those words all at once. But anyway. Yeah, going up on the YouTube channel right now is Inscription and the Mortuary Assistant. The Mortuary Assistant is an actual horror game that I played on Halloween, and then didn't really sleep that much that night, so that was fun. And then I guess that's it for the moment. I need to go back to there's something else that I was posting that sort of fell off. Oh, Cuphead! I completely forgot I never finished posting the Cuphead videos because of all of the software crashes and whatnot. I'm also looking into new editing software because I can't take it anymore. So, as always, there's a lot of crap going on in the background. And I stream them all the time. What are we playing right now? Let's see. Hollow Knight. Still working on Hollow Knight. Still working through Inscription. But at this point, even coming to the stream is a giant spoiler. So if you have any interest in playing it, you can pick it up on humblebundle.com using our our reference link, which is down in the description of all of the things. That way it kicks some percentage back to me, and that's awesome. Thank you very much. Apparently it's coming out on Steam soon too, which is awesome. But not Steam, Switch. It's already on Steam. That's where I play it. It's coming out on Switch soon. But so yeah, Hollow Knight, Inscription. Oh, and Doom 3 is the other big one. Duh. which I think I'm only one stream away from finishing the main part of Doom 3. And then we'll do probably one of the DLCs, maybe both of them, before I jump into Doom 2016. And I really need to get back to Final Fantasy VII. Things keep happening on Fridays to where I don't stream on Fridays, so I don't do Final Fantasy Friday. And then for some reason, my dumbass, it doesn't occur to me to play Final Fantasy on a different night. Because I'm an idiot. But yeah, the Final Fantasy VII Remake intermission DLC and some of hard mode I'm going to be playing on stream once Final Fantasy Fridays start up again. But okay. So that's what's going on right now on the stream. Also, occasionally we play Vampire Survivors, and I really need to go finish Rogue Legacy 2. There was a giant Rogue Legacy 2 patch yesterday that added and changed and tweaked just a bunch of stuff. And I was like, oh, I forgot about this game. So I'll do that some more too at some point. What I'm saying is variety, damn it. And I could go back and get the rest of the endings for the Mortuary Assistant, or I could never play that game again. Because it was really good and got in my head. Anyway, so, Mike, what's up? What have you got?
Let's see. I would really like to go to a cruise event for this, but we ended up with plans out of town basically all through the rest of Friday and all day Saturday and even Sunday morning. So I'd have to find something Sunday afternoon. I think House of Cards has one, but I'll just have to see if I want to mess with that Sunday afternoon. But I'm very interested, like I was with Dominaria United. There's a lot of fun and cool stuff in here.
There is a bunch of neat stuff.
Some neat reprints too. Did you see that Fauna Shaman is in this set?
Really?
Really?
I did not.
Oh, and like in that cycle of I like basic lands cards that Blanchwood Armor is part of. The black one is another reprint. It's Corrupt.
I was going to say, that should be Corrupt, right?
Yeah. Man, I love Corrupt.
Corrupt is an awesome spell. I think I saw, like, someone tweet out all 5 of those cards.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't all reprints, were they?
No, they aren't.
I didn't think so.
I know for a fact the red one is new. I can't tell whether the blue one is new, and the white one, I would have to look it up.
I don't even know what they are, so.
Let's find them real quick.
All right, chat, what are they? We're back on Magic again.
Oh, the white one is it's a Source of Plowshares. Where is it? Dang.
I don't know.
Here it is. Lay down arms. It's a sorcery for a single white. Exile target creature with mana value less than or equal to the number of planes you control. Its controller gains 3 life.
Oh.
So that's good, but that's definitely new.
Yeah.
In the blue one, Flow of Knowledge. For 4 and a blue, it's an instant. Draw a card for each island you control, then discard 2 cards. Pretty sure that's new.
Huh. Is the red one a creature?
Yeah, it's a Minotaur.
Yeah, I spotted that, and I was like, I wonder if the Sardian Cliff Stomper. Right?
Right, that's right.
Yeah, as long as it's your turn, you control 4 or more mountains. Sardian Cliff Stomper gets +X/+O, where X is the number of mountains you control. And it's an 0/4 for 2. Hopefully Mycroft saw that. Okay. So 2 classic reprints and then 3 other cards that are pretty good.
Yes.
All right. Back out of Magic again. I'm sure Brian would say something very long-winded.
Mhm.
Actually, no. At this point, he'd be like, yeah, 15 years. I'm going to bed. So never mind. But anyway. So was that it? Is that it for you, Mike? You got anything else?
That's it. That's it.
All right. Fine then. I didn't want you guys to come play Beat Saber tomorrow anyway. You can bite me. Meh.
Nom nom.
Nom. And I've got plans Saturday, so I'm sorry you can't do that.
Okay.
Yeah. See what I did there? I turned it back around. Now I'm the one denying them. Come visit. Anyway. So all right, we'll stop now. So this has been the Mana Pool number 664. Thank you all so very much for joining us, and watch out for big walk-in robots.